from August 7th to the 15th, and maybe even to the 16th, the sky going to draw a beautiful formation in heaven, in sky. And that is going to be actually two kites, which is sacred geometric patterns, right? And it's going to allow us to have, for example, talent going to meet tension over here. It is almost like a cosmic architecture, guys. It is the best. This is actually going to give us two grand trines and also two mystic triangles with two oppositions. So the grand trines going to give us the wings, and the opposition going to be the wind, which is going to help us to move forward. And the mystic triangle itself, it's the purpose for us, right? So even if Mars is in detriment, and if Saturn in fall, and Neptune also in Aries and in retrograde, and it's not the best position for Neptune either because it's in fire sign and it doesn't enjoy it at all. However, the message going to be clear for all of us, and it is the message going to be something like the most beautiful designs in heavens come when challenge going to meet grace. All right, guys, welcome back to my channel, Cosmic Insight Astrology. I am your co-pilot, Krisztina. I shared the two beautiful kite formation in heaven. And guess what? When the kite is happening, and on the 12th, we also have Jupiter, Sirius, and Venus conjunction in heaven. And I told you in my previous video, make sure you are doing an altar for yourself and you are doing a vision board, what you want to achieve. You go outside, check what time is it going to be wherever you are located, because obviously it's different for everyone. Trying to watch the conjunction and also try to check where is the kite formation in heaven for you, right? So you can have the dark sky application and check the planets, and you see and capable to see the kites. Okay, guys. So today we are going to talk about the kites. We are talking about the archetype. We're going to talk about also the what is that? How is it going to actually affect mundane and collective? And if you love collective mundane astrology, stay with me. I try not to really get into, like which kind of crypto going to rise, because usually it is going to affect all of them. If Bitcoin goes, all of them is moving a little bit upward. But I'm going to try not to mention politicians. You also know who do I talk about most of the times. I'm doing that for globally because my clients and my followers are from all over the world. It's not just from US or Canada, they are from all over the world. So check for yourself, when is it going to take place in your country, and also try to do a prayer. If you are not religious whatsoever, and if you have no faith yet, or any kind of faith you are, like, how do you call that? Like you practice, then you can also have a chant. I do the Buddhist Namyaho Rengekyo, or actually the Lotus Sutra, devoted to the Lotus Sutra, or you can just only say the Ho'oponopo, like, thank you, I love you, forgive me, I'm sorry. And you say it 10 times, and the universe is opening up the gate and it is listened, all right? So that it is, if you need to hear somebody or hear yourself because you have terminal illness, if you have you're praying for your children, then just do it. Wake up, please, because of that's the devotion. You need to do something for it, right? That's the devotion. Okay, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, like, and comment below. I, love the fact you guys are started to comment more. Even a thank you, even a little heart even a little star, whatever you put that in the comment section below. It's helped the algorithm guys, and I can actually create more videos for you. My videos I really threw out because of, I'm teaching you as well. If you're new to the astrology, if you're not, repetition makes the master. So repetition is very, very important. I have a terrible hair day, whatever. And, but that's what it is. And I'm telling you, you're going to benefit a lot out from my videos. So as you can see over here on your chart right in front of that is August is actually the saving, I call it the saving grace period, right? And you can see, for example, Mars in Libra opposing Saturn, Neptune in Aries, and it's going to Mars going to trine Uranus and Pluto, right? And the mystic the mystic triangle is coming from Uranus, Pluto, and Saturn, Neptune is in the midpoint. All right. So let's talk a little bit about this archetype, because you always have to know the archetype and what does it rule, because that's the only way you can actually translate how is it going to unfold for the mundane. That's the only way you can brainstorm, right? So for example, Mars going to enter Libra, and it's entered Libra already on the 6th of August, right? And it is opposing Saturn, Neptune. Both of them are in retrograde. Mars is in detriment and Saturn is in fall. In Aries, Mars is in detriment in Libra, right? So the opposition actually it's a little bit weakened because Saturn is and Neptune are, both of them are very annoyed in Aries, and Mars also very annoyed in Libra. However, it is also can weaken the opposition, and the opposition also always in Saturnian in flavor. You have to know that's the hardship over here. So Mars is in Libra, also action driven by diplomacy, all right, and also in partnership, and the peace negotiator, right, the peace fighter, the peace maker. So those are the soldiers who are in certain countries to make sure the peace is upheld. And Saturn is Aries in fall, right? It is structure and patient, but the structure and patient going to be tested, right? And the environment, because it's in Aries, going to demand for quick action. And Mars, the ruler of Aries, is in detriment. So we also have to check that opposition, right? Because it's opposing with the ruler where they are, and they don't like to be there, right? So Saturn is actually deflation, Neptune is inflation, and also Saturn is someone who is a soldier, not soldier, but the general, a political leader, and opposing Mars. So it's representing the peacemakers, the people who are fighting for peace, could create downfalls of politicians. Neptune is lies and illusion because they created lies and illusions, or inflation in countries, for example. So it's I'm talking about all over the world, like it's global for the collective, right? And let's talk about the grand trine. We're going to have Uranus in Gemini. Uranus loves to be in Gemini. Why? Because Uranus rules air sign, Aquarius, and Gemini also an air sign. So it's very familiar with this energy, right? It's something to do with some kind of innovative breakthrough, something to do with some kind of sudden solution as well, guys. And then Pluto also retrogrades in Aquarius right now. And it is a deep systematic transformation, guys. So it is the deep state as well, right? But collective power shift because of the people. Uranus is the people, and Pluto is in a sign where what ruled by Uranus and Saturn. Saturn is government, Uranus is rebellion, right? And that is actually going to initiate some kind of civil unrest around the world, which is going to remove politicians from their stage, right? They are gone. And it's just started right now. So yes, And the sacred geometry is the saving grace. That is the mystic triangle, which is the midpoint of Saturn and Neptune conjunction. In retrograde, both Pluto also in retrograde, Uranus not just yet, but they are creating a mystic triangle. It is almost like roof, a shelter above our head. So this could be really, really positive over here. All right. So what is exactly the kite formation? Why is it a blessing? Because it's a mystic triangle and a grand trine, and it's blessing, right? So it is like almost like represents talents under pressure, what we were talking about, and the ability actually to rise above limitation. This is very, very important, guys. Also, it's the grand trine itself and the mystic triangle, also two sextile and one trine. It is something what is easily flowing. It's kissing aspect. It's something which is natural talent. It's granted to us, right? And the opposition is actually the spine of the kite, right? And it's creating an energy which is like upward and outward, right? The wings of the kite. And the opposition is like, all right, I'm gonna be the spine over here who is checking the wind. I create the wind so you can fly. This is beautiful, actually. So, yes, anything to do with diplomacy or collective achievement, breakthroughs, creative problem solving under some kind of global tension is the theme of these kites right now. And the planetary archetypes, if we are checking the keywords over here, Mars in Libra is diplomacy in action, anything to do with indirect confrontation and strategic moves, also anything to do with the velvet glove approach, right? We are fighting for fairness because Libra is fairness and legal matters also. And then the Saturn in Aries, it's like courage going to be tested and boundaries going to be also make sure it's set as well. And boundaries going to be tested as well. There could be some kind of climate exodus somehow. And also it could be taking like, okay, we need actually patience right now and we need to learn patience because Aries wants to move forward. But Saturn going to put a break, and because of the ruler of Aries, also in detriment, it's not gonna allow us to be bored and without thinking to do some kind of actions. And Neptune in Aries is definitely visionary leadership over here. It is the spiritual battles. It is like battles actually for the underprivileged, right? The only thing is over here, Neptune could be delusion, so it could actually risk us because or action could be maybe based on some kind of illusion or delusion for us. And then we do have Uranus in Gemini, which is anything to do with AI leaps, communication revolution, quantum technology, for example, social networking, but it is like almost like a re-networking over here. And rapid transport ideas, guys, Saturn is underwater submarines, for example, especially with Neptune. Uranus in Gemini, anything to do with fastness, drones, for example. And Pluto in Aquarius is the collective transformation. It is also power shifting technology as well. And, it could actually explode the shadow government, right? It could expose the data about the shadow government or who are compromising humanitarian efforts and futuristic ideas and humans itself. So if we are going deeper in layers, Libra is definitely beauty, diplomacy, anything to do with law and fairness. And Aries is courage and leadership, and also war and battles as well. And Gemini, anything to do with networking and adaptability, ideas and speed, new infrastructure, new roads, right? It is neighborhood countries, neighborhood alliances as well. And then we're going to have Aquarius, which is the collective goods, which is innovation, which is freedom. Aquarius wants freedom actually and equality as well. So the Grand Trine, because it is an air Grand Trine over here we are talking about first, it is, going to create some kind of fast networking or it's going to bring in new technical and political alliances and new group agreements. But it could be also like we're going to talk about the mundane and how can it unfold, but not just new group agreements, but something to do with TikTok, Facebook, how we use it, like new laws about that. And it's definitely going to ease communication. And also, I would think that it's going to be some kind of scientific collaboration as well. And then on the financial market, anything to do with AI stock, NVIDIA, airspace, right? Anything to do with drones, rockets, for example, Rocket Lab, SMR, like those are could and will actually increase. Ethereum also. Don't forget, before I told you guys, Ethereum is flavoring Bitcoin in Taurus and in Libra. It's going to flavor Ethereum. Venus, I mean, not Ethereum going to Venus in Libra, it's Ethereum, and Venus in Taurus is Bitcoin. And right now, Mars is over there. So, right now, today, while I was checking, and Ethereum did a huge leap and it went upward for almost 6%. I assume right now during the 7 days it could have some kind of temporary decrease and then it's going to balloon again. So that's what I assume right now. And the mystic rectangle, anything to do with spiritual vision and anything to do with, for example, global climate loss and something which is affecting the water. And, like, for example, technology, maybe, they're creating water from salty water, ocean, where they are doing cloud seeding already. That's what they said created the flash flood in Texas, which killed a lot of youth, and it was terrible and very painful. But what I want to say, cloud seeding is possible right now. And if they are going to cloud seed, about deserts, for example, it could bring in a lot of oases and, we can have more space actually to build on or like things like that. So that's definitely possible. And also humanitarian project in work actually is also possible. Perhaps they can get through of Gaza finally and bring the humanitarian aids. So that's very important. So yes, so anything to do with AI diplomacy, anything to do with maybe the UN is going to have a new agreements, for example, and it could be also something to do with climate infrastructure funding as well, right? Significant investment in wind energy or water energy to create dams, right? So which could create energy and also wind as well. And, aviation leap, I'm 100% sure that it's going to be something like very fast airplanes and very luxurious airplanes for the collective. It's not just business classes. Somebody gonna come up like, okay, the chair's going to be more, every airplane has TV and satellite and they can use it up there. So that kind of thing. And it's going to be luxurious and breakthrough, definitely. And also, there going to be something which is a political calling of, it could be like they're going to create more social media channels, which is going to be based on truth and they're not capable to lie us anymore, for example. And it could be also the political energy going to be diffused. I always talked about third parties or fourth parties for you guys in America. And even if it's so ironic, Elon Musk has created the American party, which is very ironic for me because he didn't born here, but okay, whatever. It is still showing, there will be more parties coming up and it could be really, really great for us. All right, and then the second kite formation, let's talk about, you see the second kite over there, right? And the second kite is created by Mars in Libra, Uranus in Gemini, Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, but the midpoint over here going to be Mercury in Leo, right? So the midpoint is between Uranus and Mars going to be, and then we're going to have Mercury opposing Pluto. You can see that on the board in the chart, and this, especially if you like to do visual, because I'm very visual, so I love to see the chart all the time. So what is that over here? So what is the archetype of Mercury in Leo actually? Bold ideas, speculative speeches, creative storytelling. It is very, very important. It's very theatrical. For example, the news could be very dramatic, right? And very inspirational, but also manipulative at some point. It is also going to be like the intellect has to be shown by the public. So before somebody is speaking, they're going to judge them the way they speak, right? The leadership, going to be judged the way they speak. And also it's bringing in new educational and new artsy talents as well. It is also, it's fixed sign, because of we have Aquarius, which is fixed, Leo is fixed over there. So definitely, it could bring in some kind of stubbornness in the picture as well. And also, if you see the financial market with that, anything to do with luxury branding, celebrity endorsement, for example, speculative hype cycles. So, for example, if there is, because I just learned like Beyonce and Taylor Swift has some meme coin, but right now we're going to have a lot more meme coin coming in by celebrities. Careful, because it is entertainment-based marketing and it might not going to hold its value. So if you invest, really, really careful, okay? And then we have Mercury opposed Pluto, and that's the tension right now. And the themes actually for the tension, it's the words against actually the power structure. So people going to talk up, they're not going to shy away, they're not going to care, like if they threaten with prison or jail time or whatever. Intense negotiations, right? Uh, you know, Mercury in Leo, you can also talk about royalties announcement, or we're going to hear something about power structure in governments, Leo ruled governors, or who are they? Presidents, for example. I know G.D. Vance and Trump does have Leo ascendant, both of them. So, something about them, it's coming again. And the shadow side, however it is, because Mercury is talking, right? It could be some kind of censorship or some kind of propaganda, right? And but it will actually do some kind of what is that, correction, that's the word for that. So it's going to correct itself because it's going to be exposed for the public, for the collective. So as really, what I see over here, Mercury is the translator between Uranus and Mars, obviously. So Mercury is bringing in the energy, like we need to talk about that, all right? And what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about something to do with superpowers, new superpowers and new alignments. And if you have seen the Brick Nation, for example, they going to have their currency. And it was very weird. I just took a class last weekend with Joanne, who is a financial astrologer at MMA Market, right? And I follow them. I buy all their books, and I took the workshop in Astrology University. However, Johnny answered to me he would never invest in brick currency because it's never gonna go anywhere, and I don't agree, because America dollar has a Saturn return very soon, and the state itself has a Uranus return. And next year, because I already written all the horoscope guys for 2026 and the videos, so you can purchase that, and also financial astrology as well. Next year, 2026, we are having actually Uranus return for America on July 4th, when America has its 250th birthday. But guess what? Uranus and Mars also going to conjunct. So it's a huge civil war over there. So yes, the dollar is done. We're not going to pay with dollar-based petrol. It's going to be brick currency-based, okay? So I'm telling you, even if I get that answer from this guy who is in financial astrology for a long time, but this is the only thing I didn't agree on with him, but it's going to be brick nations. And also, It could be some kind of ceasefire because of Mars in Libra could create some kind of ceasefire in long, running conflict. So Ukraine, Russia, and perhaps Israel and Gaza, and also Taiwan and China as well, or Pakistan and India. So it is just a ceasefire. It is like cooling out a lot of things. They're going to actually open up the Gaza areas. And because of the humanitarian pressures, because of people standing up, people open. It's never gonna be the same ever again. I told you guys, I told you a year ago, I do see some fall down for Israel between 2029 and 32, which could actually end the state itself. And what is gonna lead to that? This time, what they created right now. And I do have a lot of Israeli friends also. And a lot of things we don't agree on, but one thing, they just wrote me from Israel and that said, Kristi, we are out in the street and protesting because it has to stop. This is terrible and killing everyone off and want to take over Gaza. And this is terrible. We don't want to be part of this. And a lot of Jewish friends of mine, they are actually suffering because that's going to create more anti-Semitism. And I see how, right? This is terrible. And it's not them or not all of them, whoever lives in Israel. It is usually always the dictators, always the politicians. One thing, guys, but I have to mention it. I told you guys I read 52 books every year because every week I read a book, okay? And I'm a drama therapist, so I always read novels, and that's why I'm a writer as well. But one thing, if you know about Vas Albert Vas, he was a Transylvanian Hungarian novelist, right? Who wrote about wars. And actually, he moved to Florida. Uh, oh, he had a terrible life, but he moved to Florida and they said he killed himself at 92, which is absolutely bullshit. Somebody killed him, right? And you have to check his books because in his books he writes about the Nazis, the Jews, the Hungarians, the Russian, the Romanian who suffered. The people always suffered. It's not our war. It is just the war between politicians. And obviously they feed onto the mind of the aggressive, uneducated, or people who want more, more, more. There is evil outside, so they can feed them with their bullshit. But the most important, we hold each other's hand. My eminent quote always like, I'm not afraid to take a stand. Come together and hold my hand and let's go in this storm together and fight together. So that is my stage on everything. I'm a Buddhist. I don't step on ants just for fun. I told you guys. All right. So ceasefire, and also something to do with, I told you the water because of, Neptune is over there. It could be some scarcity with water poisoning, drilling oil, and it spills again, and it could actually kill the animals. But right now we're going to have some kind of law. We're not going to allow them to do deep water drilling, for example. So definitely there could be renewable energy tech, which is coming to IPO on stock market. It could be a surge or an investment surge with some kind of new renewable energy, and it could be something to do with electric grid or wind energy as well. So that is, and also it could be something with medical stock or medical, images breakthrough with the brain technology, because Uranus is in Gemini. Uranus is the brain, the cognitive system, right? And Mercury also, so it creates the saving grace in the second kind. So we can do some early Alzheimer detection or Parkinson, and then because of that, we only need an ultrasound, and then we are actually capable to heal Alzheimer and cognitive decline. I told you guys also Pluto in Aquarius, Uranus in Gemini, trine for 3 years. We're going to heal autism and any kind of cognitive issues over there. And the stock market could actually increase, something to do with S&P 500 could go up, also NVIDIA, anything to do with technology, and NASDAQ as well. especially on the crypto side. But Solana, for example, Lucid, anything to do with new electric cars, and solar planner, SMR, or or anything to do with solar planner, hydrogen energy project also could create a rise as well. There could be also some kind of corruption coming in, because you see Pluto and Mercury is opposing, so that is data, and it could be like something to do with sex trafficking. So I assume Didi didn't get the right, the prosecutor was terrible, but he didn't get the right sentence. So it could be some kind of new data coming out, and something about something new they can, like, do you remember O.J. Simpson? They didn't actually put him to the prison to killing her wife. They put him for something else. So they can come up with something else right now. Or Trump, or, all the Epstein file. And obviously we already know the shadow government and who are into the fire, and why are they not going to let expose. But we're going to learn more about the Mossad. We're going to learn about, more of, for example, Whitney Webb, One Nation Under Blackmail. We are occupied and we are blackmailed. Unfortunately, not we, but the politicians are for sure. And, then it's going to leak out, and you can see that with your own eye. Obviously, they're going to claim it for AI. It's created with AI, but no, guys, anything what is actually picture was taken right before AI, it is not manipulated, all right? So that's what it is. But also we could have some kind of new space exploration, something to do with UFOs. We're going to hear that it's new military drones also, and new data from UFOs as well. We're going to have more connection. And just watch Young Sheldon. I love Young Sheldon. This is one of the things which is always comfort me, because there is no evil over there. Sheldon is very annoying, obviously, but it's also actually showing facts. And, when he was actually talking with Dr. Sturgis over there, is it possibility to have, like other life? And of course, because how many universes out there, and millions, and, at least a million out there, which could have actually life on it. So come on, we're going to have more connection with, like different technology and different species from the universe. Obviously, we're also going to have more knowledge about the asteroids, and maybe new planets going to be uh, found, right? Or new asteroids going to be found also. So definitely spaceships, and it's not necessarily Elon Musk, because look at him, everything is failing for him. So it is like how many spaceship he's sent up, and or crashed. But also Tesla houses could be really great, and Starlink could provide for the whole entire world. And then if there is a natural disaster, the satellite would find them easily. So in some cases, no matter how a-hole he is, it is like, all right, guys, there is something what who could create for humanity, which could be actually great, and there is some, but we're not gonna support, obviously, like that's what it is. Also, I had to tell you something, because of Mars is involved over here, and I was actually watching Jimmy Dore, I think, and then they were talking about NATO, and actually then I checked Silver Dragon also on YouTube, and they were also talking about the NATO stacks. NATO wants to actually put in over 1 trillion for defense, right? And it's going to rise anything to do with military stacks. So if you are okay with that, I'm not, because of I know even right on October 7th, the military stack gonna go up, but I didn't buy because of I'm just not okay to have my hand bloody because of I'm not okay with that. All right. There could be also, as I said, the UN is going to force some kind of agreement and something to do with refugees, right? But it might be something behind the or in front of us, but actually behind the scene because of Mars and Mars and Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto and Mercury opposing, it could be like they say something. It's demagogue. It's demagogue. That's the word. Yes. So yeah. Also, something to do with climate, definitely, or clean the water project. They're going to find, there is out a lot of mushrooms. Uranus in Gemini could be mushroom. Pluto in Aquarius could be mushroom, which is eating the plastic. That it's already out there, and it could be some, however, I do fear a little bit about mushrooms because it could also create neurological issues, and I'm not sure about that, but in some cases, all right, it could be amazing, right? If we are checking in and if we are constantly checking and it's not going out of our hand, but definitely we're going to hear about um, what is that? More AI-based the genetic cloning, for example, or it is creating opportunity for science, and some of them going to be really shocking, and some of them going to be actually great. I accept some kind of new tariff rollbacks right now, and why? Because it is a peaceful resolution. It's two kites, so Unhinged actually said he is creating tariffs like 100% here, there, whatever. Every day it's different. And let me tell you, I'm going to grocery shopping and I cannot get out below $200. And it's only for 3 days for my family because I have teenager boys, right? So I'm infuriated, quiet, friendly. And like the rice, I bought it, and not even, I don't know, it was 2 pounds of rice for $14 in Publix. Are you crazy? What's going on? And I'm pretty upset because of that, and the tariffs definitely shows right now on our groceries prices. There is also going to be some kind of historic and cultural preservation, right? Anything to do with the Iranian art, because that was Persia before, right? Or anything to do with the Gazan arts, also the Palestinian arts, and it's going to be the UNESCO maybe going to create something which we are capable to actually preserve our cultural heritage, for example, even in the war-impacted areas as well. All right. So then we know when this is, the Mars synodic cycle actually started in 2024, right? When Mars and Saturn conjuncted, we know that. And right now, they are actually in opposition. So it's telling a whole entire story because it always starts with conjunction, the synodic cycle. And right now, the opposition create two kites. So the Saturn-Mars conjunction in 2024 actually going to become and create something better, which was before. So it was, like, as I said, it was something to do with the wars, but somehow the wars is going to have, because the kite formation is there, some kind of agreement or peace agreement over there, right? So, and then it could be something to do with Saturn and Neptune also. Neptune is flats, and we do have in September another, what is that? Eclipse season is coming up. So we are 6 weeks away. So it's already started to affect. So I would assume we're going to have more hurricanes, right? Especially in Florida. But I also would assume we're going to be capable to prevent a lot more damages somehow. And yes, so that could be also something here. But on the other hand, Neptune also hospitals, right? And we could also have something to lead with hospital data, or we're going to learn about that there is a hurricane, tsunami, earthquake and it's ruined hospitals, for example, and we have to rescue people from there. But somehow I do feel the rescue movement going to be, even if there is a lot of challenge and frustration, but the story going to be miraculous, and we are coming out actually more positive than before, right? And also, there will be, because Israel and Iran, let's see, it's not over yet, and it's not gonna be, because we know what Netin Bibi wants, right? So it could be some kind of pressure coming up again, and because there could be some kind of satellite image going to leak right now, and actually it's going to be for the not the favor of Israel. Also, there we could be, some kind of, yeah, the UFO drones, we were talking about that. I'm gonna check my notes over here. Yeah, so it's going to be a saving grace in it, whatever started in 2024. And it's definitely going to have some kind of fixation, right? Uh, And it's going to be only a window, for example, to answer and fix the things between Iran and Israel, or between Taiwan and China and Russia and Ukraine. It is like immediate fixation. Otherwise, it could be like an issue with nuclear powerhouses, or some kind of leakage, and but anyway, because of data going to get leaked, and I assume right now, very soon Charles is going away and just resign whatever, and William gonna take over, and William most likely is the last monarch, not gonna be long, but last monarch. And also, what I see over here, don't forget William has a Cancer rising, a Cancer sun, and actually the during this time we have the Venus Sirius and Jupiter conjunction, so it's going to favor him. Yes, so there is, like solution in the challenge, solution in the disgrace, solution because everything gonna get leaked, and they cannot shut us up anymore. And people who has knowledge, they have power. That's what I tell the boys all the time, because oh my god, I have to study so much, and obviously they have to, especially what Martin wants to become a neurosurgeon first, and after a TV producer. I was like, dude, you really have to study a lot, but uh, knowledge is power. That's why. And guys, I'm not only watching one strain media. I'm really looking into the opposite as well. And even if I like almost puking when I listen the news, but at least I know what they are talking about. And I, yeah. But usually I do put read independent media, the 1440. This is my newsletter, and also Amy Goodman and Katie Harper and I don't know, Irene, someone, I forget her name, but there is a lot of people who are journalists and who are independent. Candice and Tucker, I do watch them, even if I'm mad at them, because of they actually initiated something to make their crowd and subscribers to vote for the recent government, and they haven't seen, so they owe us an apology who saw everything behind the scene, right? But anyway, it's still better than not to actually, or stay in the dark and continue the propaganda what they did. So they changed, and I'm happy about that. Yes. There could be something with the Red Sea transit, guys, because of Neptune, Saturn. It could be some kind of pirate activity, because there is famine in a lot of countries. And yeah, I can see that definitely. Um, and it could be also some kind of monsoon coming in, and the monsoon could come from, like more like India and Pakistan area from there, and a lot of hurricanes going to affect Texas, Louisiana, and Florida. Usually it is the Gulf of Mexico because it's warmer, and it's create bigger hurricanes as well. So yeah, and that's what's gonna happen, Also, because of Neptune is Drox as well, Saturn is seizing something. So it could be something to do with the fentanyl channel. And it could be, because we might going to find where the cartel is bringing the drugs and it could be seized. Something, a big seize of drugs, for example, could happen right now. Yes. All right. For example, Saudi Arabia, they do have hydrogen plantations, for example, and it could be something to do with the green hydrogen offtake right now. So it could be also good for investment if you want to look into that. And Saudi Arabia, I always would invest because they are just so well. And also we're going to have coastal AI flood models right now, which is helping the the shores to actually prevent flood. And Norway and Finland already have that. They are always ahead of us. They have social democracy or democracy warfare, which is amazing, I believe in, because everybody is in a certain level, so there is no suffering, financial suffering, and also medically no suffering. And obviously there is less crime. If people don't suffer, you just have to understand. And I don't understand why people is so against of that kind of model, because there has to be something which is a regular level. And from them on, if you want to move forward and do capitalism and taking on to study more or work more, yes, you should have more money. Sorry about Cosmo, my son came home with his girlfriend, and Cosmo is working like crazy, but that's what's happening right now. All right, so definitely cyber security we're going to have. And, as I said, SMR, NVIDIA, anything to do with Iridium, anything to do with space mobile, anything to do with, what is that? The Starlinks, new phones also going to go up. And by the defense rotation, I wanted to say that because come in, Martin, do you want something? I'm doing videos. Okay. So the thing is, what I wanted to say with NATO, right? The NATO defense is going to actually go up to $1 trillion or above, that is Lockheed and RTX, for example, and L3Harris. This is the what you have to go for the stickers and check because it's going to rise like crazy. All right, so that's what I wanted to tell, and I'm not going to say right now anything about your individual signs, guys, because of this is two trines and grand trines and two mystic triangles, two kites. And it involves a lot of houses, and it involves a lot of what else? Signs as well and planets. So then I would not stop talking, and I don't just want to come up with two examples because it's also then invalid. So or just partial. So that's what's happening right now. But I was happy to be here, and I'm coming up with more, obviously, with more readings for you guys, and I'm happy to do that. Just please do me a favor and just please subscribe, comment below, and like. And any social media, it could be on TikTok, other people's social media, if you share it, then people see me and I have a chance they subscribe, and I would really appreciate that. I told you guys, I am a giver, and I already written and made so much videos, and I'm willing to give away presents no matter what. Show me where you actually shared my videos, and let me see. And then I'm going to be there for you as well. Thank you so much for listening and subscribing, liking, commenting, and I will be here soon again. Bye for now.